there would be so much less garbage in high ticket sales if people were called out. Now, those are the words of someone in this industry that's been around for several years, made over 15,000 a month, and experienced all the positives and negatives in high ticket sales. So in this video, I'll follow that initiative and I'll talk about avoiding these scams in high ticket sales. I'll go over the different versions of them, the different forms and shapes. I'll cover the more common scams that we see and have seen over the years in this specific industry, so you can recognize these patterns and hopefully avoid these tricks or scams yourself. So first of all, what is a scam, right? A scam is a deceptive scheme or trick used to cheat someone out of something. So in our case, it's usually money, right? To trick someone into giving you money or to give themselves money, right? And they come in different shapes. The most common scam people can fall into when trying to enter high ticket sales is at its core a sales training pyramid scheme. Companies like Systemize and Sell, Limelight, Mike Barron, at least those are the three that I know of that I can name drop right at this moment. They will like all of these three, they will allegedly, I think you use allegedly that way, charge people $5,000 or more for sales training with a guaranteed job placement. For somebody inexperienced, that may sound good. Oh, so I get training and I get a job. Perfect. Let's just go with this. I pay you $5,000. Man. But if we look inside of their structure and their business model, that's what they don't tell you. Right? They are training you in sales to sell their sales training to other people like yourself. So they position their program as, well, if you're looking for a high ticket sales job, you need sales training. So come join us and we'll train you and we'll guarantee you a job. We'll guarantee you a placement. Without mentioning the job they guarantee you is to sell the thing that you're being sold. So a pyramid, right? That's basically what it is. That's a pyramid, right? We just recruited other people to this sales training that we're in. So the job is about trapping others the way that you were brought into it yourself. And you have no other option than trying to make it work because you're, $5,000, that's a significant sum of money. And most of that is probably people's entire savings. And when you are that deep trying to explain what is happening to that person who's trapped $5,000 deep, it's quite hard, right? Because they're brainwashed because of pain. Their hard-earned money gone. They don't want to realize that the money's gone. So they become defensive. They refuse to believe the reality of what is going on. And this happens because of, desperation from what I've seen. When we become desperate, we tend to cut corners to get to the destination, meaning we take the fastest and easiest options, even if it means paying for a job. You will look past all of that just so that you have a remote closing job. You should never pay for a job. A bad opportunity will set you back months. You'll be at day 0 and then you'll be at day minus 30, right? Negative 30. So weeks go by and you haven't made a single sale. You confront the companies and coaches that were responding to you within 24 hours. But all of a sudden now, when you are bringing up issues, they're gone. And no one is replying. You talk about the job guarantee and they flip it on you. All right, well, we fulfill the contract as you're placed with the product to sell. No mention of the quality of the guaranteed job. And these are real stories. I'll attach screenshots of this happening earlier this year to someone who reached out for help, right? And I'll show you, this is my conversation with him. I'm trying to get him out of a contract that he signed. Like I said, desperation creeps in and we cut corners and won't even thoroughly read through a contract about a service or bindings or whatever that's called, right? I'm no lawyer or even know the terminology. And then here's a Facebook post confronting the guy running the scene. It's all about money for them. The part that pisses me off is when the sales guy expresses what he feels and says, I closed someone on 10K and months later the customer never got whatever we promised him. The owner doesn't even, talk about the delay in fulfillment and cares about how much money they took, right? On another note, FTC has also shut down a huge company in high ticket sales that was making deceptive earning claims for closers, often misleading and unproven. It went by the name of the Sales Mentor, also known as Inbound Closer Accelerator or some type of certification program. There are some articles online about it that I will post below if you want a closer look, but that was also something that we could see from a mile away, especially if a company claims that the earning income for an average closer, taking the program that he had, is making 10 to 20,000 a month every single month with about 25,000 students, right? That's, the average closer makes far less. We don't have that data, but the high ticket sales space is a red ocean. We are just a small bubble, right, in this online space compared to any other industry around us. Many have tried and quit. Many are still in and are not making anything in return. The second scam you should avoid is happening right now with a huge fitness influencer that starts with a V, right? This fitness influencer, just for your information, if you are a fitness enthusiast, right? If you follow any other fitness channels, you know of this channel. But this channel had beef with other fitness trainers in the YouTube scene several years back. I'm not saying that the fitness program they sell is a scam, because I've never seen it, I've never done it, I've never bought it. What I am referring to is their hiring process for salespeople. So they are allegedly asking salespeople in their hiring process to deposit $5,000 to get hired for that position to, show your commitment to do the job, to do the closing. That is, in my opinion, bullshit. You should never pay a deposit or in general for a job. Now this company claims that, they will give you back your money. They'll give you back your deposit of $5,000 when you hit $500,000 revenue generated for them selling the fitness program. I can see multiple situations where you are short of that 500,000 in generated revenue and you might need your $5,000 deposit. Who knows what life might throw at you, and the company using ego against you. Now, I'm not saying that this has happened. I'm saying that it's very easy for the company to flip it against you, especially if we look at a closer's or us salespeople's mindsets. If we look at the bigger picture, right? They might even use, ego against you. You will be told that, hey, you might not want to win bad enough. You're not a real closer. So you're telling me, because I haven't 100 times your deposit, that I'm not a real closer. On top of that, there's no proof of the $5,000 being returned even if you do great. Their entire process is a bait and switch, right? They go to job boards, recruiters, saying, hey, we are hiring salespeople. They tell people they are hiring, then they tell people they need to pay for their training and coaching to join the company. I would have more respect for them if they were upfront with everything from the get-go, before the first interview, or even on the first post, right? On the hiring post. But don't trick people into interviews and then you go ahead and say, well, you have to pay to get hired. You have to pay for training. Just have a post, or have the recruiter that you have or hired tell people that, well, the non-negotiable is that you have to buy their training. It's an absolute circus. Like, this industry is full of fucking clowns. And I just want to mention, I am a secondary source when it comes to this company in particular. I'm sure there are companies under other names that have the same bait and switch process. Like if something like this happens to you, you should avoid. Like if you're interviewing for a company, the last interview or even on the first interview, who knows? Who knows who's so upfront with that? But second, third, first interview, they tell you, well, I really like you and I want you to join my company, but you have to pay for this training. Fuck off, right? Come on. That's bait and switch. It's tricking people. I can't see any real company do that. Like, they'll get freaking lawsuits, they'll get shut down, questioned by the tax agencies. Man, such a bad move. Moving on to the third scam to avoid. But it isn't quite a scam, it's more of a disclaimer to be careful when it comes to job posts in Facebook groups and communities in particular. So before accepting a role or a position, you should always qualify by asking more questions. Like the times I've used job posts, there will be a percentage of companies who will greet you with inaccurate information about how long their company has been around, company numbers like revenue, amount of leads, marketing and sales process, as just to name a few, and earning potential. This happens when a company wants to appeal to setters and closers and get someone like you to work with them, right? And companies that do that will usually have one, if not all of these three: no sales process, no proven product or proof that their product works, and three, no consistent way of generating leads. Now I'm getting sun in my face. All right. So they tap into commission-only salespeople as an additional resource to their lack of systems in closing deals without additional costs compared to if they were to hire an employee, right? In the US you call it W2 employee. But now you are self-employed, 1099 setter or closer. So the business doesn't have several of the other responsibilities when it comes to hiring a full-time employee. And you can watch my guide on high ticket sales here on YouTube. Like, it's one of the latest videos, and in the interview chapter, I talk about what questions you need to ask during a hiring process. But if you're going through anything like this that I have not covered here, reach out to me on Instagram. I'll always be down to help as far as I'm able to, right? If you need me to read through a contract, well, I'm no lawyer, right? I'm no lawyer saying that. But if you want someone to go through or listen to the process that you went through, or you are concerned about certain details, reach out to me with those details, and I might be able to work it out for you or bounce ideas, right? I'm always here as a resource. I'm always here as a tool. Well, not tool. Well, I'm always here as a resource for you guys. All right, peace out.